5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Left 4 opens long. And left 4 long over bump. And crest 40. Right 4. Right 3. And left 6. Into right 5 long, tightens 3 past junction, 40. Left 4 over bump. Into left 3 long, opens over crest, 60. Right 2 half long, and left 4 80. Right 3 over crest bump, 60. Right 5 80. Right 4 don't cut, and left 6 don't cut. Into right 5 long, and caution crest 40. Right 3 into open hairpin left. And right 3 over crest 40. Left 5 over bump 40. Right 3 half long over crest. And left 6. And right 6 line for 100. Left 4 long down, tightens 3, 100. Left 3. Into right 5, tightens 3. Crest bump 40. Left 4 long, 60 over bump. Right 6 long, tightens 4 over bump. 40 crest, 100 class junction. Left 4 continues for 80 and tightens over jump. 150 over bumps. Right 5 long over crest. Into caution, keep left over jump. 130 bump bridge. 40. Left 5 over bump slowing. 40. Caution, left 4 long, opens and tightens 3, don't cut. And right 4 don't cut, 130. Left 4 past junction, 100. Crest 100. Caution, braking before the house, turns square right, 60 past junction. Narrow from here. Right 4 long, and keep left over long crest. Right 6 80. Left 6 half long over bump, don't cut. And right 6 don't cut, bump. Left 6 into right 5 don't cut, and caution left 6 over jump, bad camber. And small jump. Left 6 over bump and right 6 into left 6 over long crest, 80 over bumps. Right 6 long over bump. And left 6 over bump continues for 80, line for 80. Left 5 over bump. Caution 60, braking crest into right 3, don't cut. 40. Left 3 long, 60 crest. And right 4 through deck. 130 over small crest. Left 5 long don't cut. Care 60 right 3 over crest and continues over crest 60 over small crest and left 6 into right 6 half long over bump and left 4 half long over crest 80. Care crest right 3 through dip tighten 60. Left 4 half long over bumps. Into left 4 and right 2 opens over crest. Into left 5 long, tightens 3. Into right 4 half long. And left 1 opens and tightens. Into right 3. Finish. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Right 5, 60, left 2 late. Into right 5, into left 3 half long. Into right 4, opens over crest. And crest, 60, small crest. Left 4. And care right 2, opens over crest and tightens 3 long, over crest past junction 40. Left 3. And right 5. Into left 4 through dip. Into crest 60. Left 4 half long 40. Right 4 tightens 3 and tightens 2 40. Left 3 half long, into left 2, 40. Right 2 half long, into left 5 long over crest 40. Left 3 over crest, open 60. Right 3 long, 40. Left 5 long over 2 crest and crest jump 40. Right 5 into left 2 long, into right 2 40 crest, into care left 4 tightens 3 and right 5, right 2 past junction don't cut. Left 4 past junction crest and small crest jump 40. Left 3 opens and tightens 40. Right 3 tightens. Left 6 and right 3 over crest. Left 6 through dip and right 2 over crest. Opens 6 and tightens 2. And left 3 long, tightens 2. And crest 80, over small crest and crest. And care right 3 half long, 60 over bump. Left 4. And right 5 into left 3. And right 2 40 crest bump. Right 5 into left 3 and right 2 opens 40. Left 4 long over crest, opens 80 over bumps and dip into caution, left 4 tightens 3 over crest. And right 5 40. Left 6 over crest, 130 over bumps. Left 4 long, 60. Keep left over small crest. Right 2, 40, crest. Left 4 crest. And care right 6 over crest. Left 3 opens long. And right 3 long and crest 60. Caution right 3 tightens hairpin right. Into crest 60. Caution left 4 tightens 2 80. Right 4 40 bump finish. 3, 2, 1, go. Into left 4, 40, bump over crossroads. Right 5, bump dip, into left 5 over crest, 60. Left 4 long over crest, opens 40. Care right 5. Into left 4 tight. And right 5, 60. Left 5 and bump. Right 6 through dip. And left 6 over crest, jump baby, 40. Left 5. Right 5 half long, 60 bump. Right 4 half long, 40. Left 4 long over crest, 40. Okay, left 4 keep in. Right 3 over crest past junction, 60. Right 3 over small crest, 40. Left 5 past junction, 60. Caution, turn right 2 at crest, 40 small crest, bump. Left 2 through dip. And right 5 half long and crest. Left 3 through dip. And crest 60. Right 3 tight, don't cut, 40 crest. And left 4 long and crest, 40. Care, turn right 5 past junction, tightens 3 long, 100 over 2 crests. Right 6. Left 6, 80 crest jump maybe, into right 6, 100 crest jump maybe. And caution, right 5, crest jump maybe, immediate left 4 and crest. And keep right over long crest. And left 6, 40. Right 3 past junction. Left 4. Right 2 through dip, don't cut, 40. Left 3 over bump. Opens long, 60. Right 4 over 60 over small crest. Left 4 long, tightens. Right 2 keep in. Into left 2 long, 100 through dip. Care, right 5 continues over 2 crest. 80, right 5 over crest, tightens, don't cut. And left 4 into right 2, 40. Left 3 long, keep in. Left 4 over crest. Right 3 long opens. And left 4 half long over crest, 150. Left 4 long tightens into right 4 long, opens and tightens over crest, 100 line. Into keep left over flat out crest jump. Into right 5, 40 crest. Right 2 half long, opens and continues over crest, 60. Left 3 long and long crest. Into turn square right. 60 crest. Right 6, crest. And left 5 half long, crest. And right 5 times 4 over crest. And crest, 40. Right 3 half long. Left 6, 100 over small crest bump. Left 5 into right 4, 100. Keep right over crest. Into left 3. Small crest bump, 60 crest. And right 5 continues for 80. 40 bump. Right 4 long crest, 60. keep mid over crest jump maybe, 40, keep right over crest jump maybe, 40, left 6 and keep right over small crest bump to finish. Four, 3, 2, 1, go. Right 5 long over crest bump. Caution 60, keep right over crest bump, 40. Left 6, 60. Right 5 half long over big bump, 60. Left 6 and crest jump maybe 60 over bumps. Left 5 long, continues over crest bump 40. Right 3 long past junction tightens. Into left 6 and right 5 long crest bump. Left 6 line through dip. Left 4, 40. Caution, left 5 long, opens over crest jump. Into right 4 half long, into crest and crest. And right 3 over bump 60. Caution, left 4 over crest jump, open to 80. Left 4 continues for 80 and crest. Right 3 into left 2 long bump. And right 3 tight, don't cut, into crest jump. And left 5 half long over bumps. And right 4 half long. Into left 5 half long over crest jump 40. Right 4 half long. Left 6. And left 6 long into keep mid over big jump 80. Right 4 opens and tightens over bump. And caution, turn left 3 over bump. Left 3 half long, opens. Into right 3. And left 6. And keep right over crest bump, 60. Caution bump into left 4 tightens 3 over crest bad camber. And right 2 half long. And left 3 opens 60 over long crest. Right 5 80 crest. Left 4 tightens over crest, 60 over bumps. Right 5 80 through dip. care, right 4 over crest, opens and continues. Use for 80. Left 5 over jump. Right 5. Into right 5, keep in. Into right 5 long, continues over bump, and left 5 40. Big bump. And right 5 long 40. Bump dip. Right 4 over crest bump, 60, over bumps. Left 5 long, continues over crest jump, maybe 40. Finish. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Left 6 over 100, past junction. 100 over bridge. Into 2 small crests, 60 past junction. Right 6 times 4 over crest, don't cut. 80, crest bump. Into left 6, 60. Care, left 3 over crest, don't cut. Into crest jump maybe, dip, and right 6 times the 4 over crest jump. Opens and continues for 100. Over bump, crest. 80 through dip, crest, jump maybe. 40 past junction. Left 4 over crest jump. And crest, 130. Right 6. And right 3 over crest, don't cut, opens long. And crest, into crest jump maybe. Left 5 long over crest jump maybe. And crest past junction, 40. Caution, right 4 over crest jump. 60 past junction. Left 4 half long over crest, into crest, 60. Right 4 over crest. 100 past junction. Caution, right 4 over crest jump maybe, into bump. 40 crest jump maybe, into bump. And left 6 over crest jump maybe. Continues for 150 over bump. And tightens 5 through dip crest, 60. Right 5 over crest jump maybe, opens long, 100. Keep right over crest jump. And line over crest, and crest jumps. 60 past junction. Keep right over long crest. Into caution, right 5 long past junction, tightens 3, don't cut. Crest, 80 past junction. Left 4 times 3 over crest, don't cut. 60. Right 4 continues over crest, opens and tightens 40. Left 5 half long, don't cut past junction. 80. Middle over crest jump, 80 past junction. Left 5 long, opens over crest past junction. 40. Left 5 over crest jump, don't cut, small crest jump. Into middle over crest jump, 180 past junction. Right 5 past junction, tightens 4, keep very in. Into right 6 over crest jump, 100 bump. And caution, right 4 over jump, 100. Left 4 long. 60, keep left over crest, into right 5 long, 40, middle over crest jump. Past junction crest, jump maybe 80. Left 6 over crest, jump maybe 60 past junction. Caution, left 6 over crest down. Into left 3 half long, keep in 60. Right 5 over crest 80. Right 4 over crest, opens over bump 60. Left 6 and middle over crest jump. Into left 5. And right 4 long, middle over crest. And left 4 over crest 80. Right 4 long over crest, don't cut. 40. Left 6 tightens 4 over crest. 60. Right 6 tightens 3 tight, 150. left 4 half long past junction 40. Right 5 tightens 4 crest. And left 5 over crest 40 past junction. Crest and left 5 half long, finish. Four, 3, 2, 1, go. Right 6 over crest, 130. Left 4 keep in, 40. Right 6 over crest, don't cut, 100. 2 small crests. Into left 3 long, opens over crest, 40. Crest, left 3 long, crest. Into right 4 half long, 60, left 6 over crest jump maybe, 80, right 6 tightens 3 over crest, 100, crest past junction, right 3 over crest keep in, 80, crest, and right 5 over crest jump, 60, crest jump maybe, left 5, and crest jump, into right 6 long over crest bump past junction, and right 6, crest jump maybe, and left 3 long, and crest, left 6 through dip, and crest jump, and right 6 over crest, tightens 5, past junction, left 6 don't cut, crest, into right 5, left 6 through dip, and right 5 over crest jump maybe, stay right, left 6 don't cut, 80, right 6 over crest, and left 4 long, crest, and right 6 over crest past junction continues and tightens 4 long, 60, right 3 past junction opens over 2 crests, keep left through dip, crest, right 5 past junction and crest, and left 6 through dip into middle over crest, 40. Keep right over long crest, jump maybe. Left 6 over bump and crest. Care right 6 tightens 4 over crest, jump maybe. Into left 4 half long, don't cut, 40. Right 5 past junction, keep in over crest, jump. And crest, jump maybe. And caution, left 4 half long, keep in over crest, rocks on exit. And crest jump maybe, into right 4 long, tightens 3, to left 3 half long, into crest jump maybe, 130 past junction, crest, right 5 long over bridge, don't cut. Left 4 long past junction, opens and tightens over crest, don't cut. 40 past junction, crest. Right 3 don't cut. For 100 past junction, crest. 100. Right 4 long, opens over crest past junction, crest. 130. Middle over crest jump maybe, into middle over crest jump, 60, caution right 6 past junction, into middle over big jump, and crest jump, 150 over bumps past junction, bump left 6, middle over crest jump maybe, and crest, and keep right over crest, and crest, 40 past junction, crest jump maybe, and crest into left 6 through dip, continues over crest, 200 past junction, right 6 over crest, and caution right 5 over crest jump maybe, 40 keep left over crest, to finish. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And keep right over 2 crests, 40. Left 5 over crest jump maybe. And left 6 over crest. 200 past junction, crest. Right 6 half long through dip. Into crest. And crest jump maybe. 40 past junction, crest. And keep left over crest. And crest. And middle over crest jump maybe. Right 6. 150 over bumps past junction. Caution crest jump. And middle over big jump. Into left 6 past junction. 60. Middle over crest jump. Into middle over crest jump. 130. Crest past junction. And left 5 continues over 2 crests and tightens. 100. Crest jump maybe. Left 3 continues for 100 past junction, don't cut. Crest, 40 past junction, right 5 over crest, don't cut, opens, tightens. Four, long, don't cut. And left 5 long over bridge, don't cut. Crest, 130 crest jump. Into right 3 half long. Into left 3 long, opens, don't cut. Into crest jump maybe. And right 3 over crest, opens past junction, crest. And crest jump maybe. Left 5 keep in. 40, right 4 half long, don't cut, into left 4 opens over crest, and crest, and right 6 over bump, keep left over long crest jump maybe, 40, caution right 6, middle over big jump, into right 6, 40, crest, 40, left 5, keep right through dip, crest, left 4 tightens over bumps past junction. .60, left 4 long, opens and continues past junction. And crest bump, and right 4 long. And left 6 over crest. 80, right 6, don't cut, left 5 over crest jump maybe, and right 6 through dip past junction, crest, left 5 into crest, right 6 don't cut, left 5 opens over crest, 40 through dip, keep right over crest jump maybe, right 6 through dip, crest, 60, right 3 and crest, left 6 over 100, 40, middle over crest jump, right 4, 60, left 5 over crest jump, 80, left 3 half long over crest past junction, crest, 100, left 3 opens crest, 80, right 6 over crest jump, 80. Left 4 half long. Into crest. Right 3 long. Crest, right 3 long. Crest. And crest 100. Left 6 over crest, don't cut, 40. Right 4, keep in. 130 to finish. Four, three, two, one, go. Right 4 over crest and crest. And left 4 opens 40. Right 4 half long past junction 150. Left 3 over crest 60. Right 4 opens over crest 40. Left 4 long over crest, don't cut 80. Right 4 over crest and middle over crest. Rear right puncture. And left 4 long and right 5 into middle over crest jump. And right 6, 60, left 5 over bump, times 4 over crest, and crest 100, bump. Lost the rear right. Left 5 over crest 60. right 3 half long, keep in. Into right 6 over crest, 60 past junction. Right 6 over crest jump maybe. 80 crest jump. 60 past junction, middle over crest jump. 40. Care left 5 over crest. Tightens 4. Into right 6 over crest. And crest. And right 4 half long, 100. Small crest jump. Left 4 over crest and bump, 100. Left 6 over crest jump. Into left 3 don't cut. Opens past junction, 180 past junction. Caution, middle over crest jump. And small crest jump, right 5 over crest jump. Don't cut, 40 crest. Right 6 times the 4 half long. 80 past junction, middle over crest jump, 40. Right 5 tightens the 4, don't cut past junction. Crest bump. And left 4 half long over crest, opens long and tightens over crest, 60. Right 4 tightens 3 long over crest. Don't cut, 80 past junction crest. Left 3 don't cut past junction, opens over crest. Into middle over long crest, 60 past junction. Crest jump and line over crest jump maybe. And keep left over crest jump, 80. Caution left 6 long times 4 over crest jump. Crest. Right 4 opens over 2 small crests. Opens and continues for 150 over bump and over crest jump maybe and bump. Into crest jump maybe, 40 bump. Into caution left 4 half long over crest. Jump bank on exit, 100 past junction. Left 4 opens over crest, 60 small crest. Into right 4 half long over crest, 60 past junction. Left 4 over crest jump maybe, 40 crest past junction. And right 5 long over crest, jump maybe, and keep right over crest, jump maybe. Two crests, and left 4 tightens over crest, don't cut, and opens 130 dip, and crest, and caution right 4 over big jump, 40 past junction, middle over crest, jump 80 through dip, crest jump maybe. Caution left 6 long over bump and tightens 4, continues over crest jump and opens and crest jump maybe. Into right 4, tightens 3 over crest, don't cut. 60. Right 6 into crest bump, 60. Left 4 opens over crest, don't cut, 60 past junction. 2 small crests, 100 over bridge. Right 6 over 100 past junction. to finish.
Unlike a race circuit where drivers learn every inch of the track, rally drivers tackle hundreds of kilometres of unique road during every rally, and so in order to be fast and safe, they use pace notes. Not all pace notes are the same. Which system is used and what features of the road are called out are down to driver preference and can vary greatly from one driver to the next. There are many variations of co-driver systems used, but in dirt rally we use 6-to-1, made famous by the legendary man himself, Colin McRae. In this system, 6 is the fastest, least severe corner, and 1 is a slow, almost 90-degree corner. We then have square, hairpin and acute to describe even tighter corners. There is a general misconception that the number relates to the gear you should be in, but this isn't always the case. If you come out of a right 2 in second gear immediately into a left 6, you are unlikely to change straight into 6th gear. Distances are generally given in metres, for example 60, 80 or 100, unless the corners are really close together, in which case and or into may be used. Additional description of detail in the road ahead is also necessary. Calls such as care, caution and double caution signify sections where extra care should be taken. Descriptions such as open, tighten or double tighten are used when the angle of the corner changes midway through. Corner length is also described using half long, long or continues for. Crests, bumps and jumps, as well as other variations that you can drive through such as bad camber, dips and water splashes are also called out. Perhaps the most important calls of all are those telling you when an obstacle is present, meaning that you should avoid cutting the corner or running wide on corner exit. In these situations, the co-driver will call "don't cut." It is vitally important that you listen to your co-driver and don't cut in these situations. Another important aspect of pace notes is the timing. This is the point at which the co-driver delivers the note to you, relative to the position on the road. Again, this is down to preference, but it is common for the pace notes to be delivered 1 or 2 corners ahead of where the car is on the road. This allows you to build up a mental picture of the road ahead, so that you can put the car in the correct attitude at the correct time to achieve maximum speed. While some drivers prefer pace notes to be delivered later than others, it is critical that you are given each note before the point at which you would need to react to them. The most obvious example of that would be a braking point for a corner. If the pace note is given to you after the point at which you would need to brake, particularly for a corner that cannot be seen on approach, this is a late note. Many crashes in rallying have been caused by the co-driver not giving the driver the pace note in time. If you want to, you can adjust the co-driver call timing in the player preferences menu so that the calls are delivered with the timing that suits you. Weight transfer is the core component that most aspects of rally driving revolve around. That is, the inertia of the car's weight as it changes direction. This is the force that makes your body move as the car brakes, accelerates and turns. Weight transfer affects the amount of mechanical pressure applied by each of the 4 tyres against the road surface. When a car speeds up, slows down or turns, each tyre will experience a difference in that mechanical pressure compared to when the car is stationary. This results in an increase or decrease of the potential grip available. Braking and accelerating produces longitudinal weight transfer and turning produces lateral weight transfer. It can also be influenced by other factors such as the road surface, jumps and crests. Always try and manage the weight transfer at the moment it's required, whether accelerating, braking or turning. This will maximise the grip potential of each tyre, keeping you flowing in and out of sections throughout a stage. It is important to bear this basic principle in mind as you watch these guides, as almost all these techniques are used to manage weight transfer. Understanding the techniques used in rally driving will help you understand the relationship between car and road surface and how to be the master of control under extreme pressure. Dirt Rally has a precisely detailed vehicle handling model, so you will need to utilise real-world driving techniques to get through our most technical stages in one piece. Master these techniques and you'll maximise the potential of every car, allowing you to get better stage times and challenge for championship victories. Like an aeroplane, rally cars move in 3 axes: roll, pitch, and yaw. Rally cars are known for performing big slides. Most of the time, these slides are induced by the driver to achieve as high a speed through a corner as possible without sliding off the road. In order to traverse a rally stage quickly and without crashing, you must manage the attitude of the car at all times. In rallying, the racing line means the same as in any other form of motorsport. That is, to straighten the track as much as possible through corners. However, unlike some other forms of motorsport where drivers use every inch of the track to find the perfect racing line, rally drivers have only one shot at each corner, so they often leave a small margin for error. As a rally stage undulates through forests or curves around mountains, it is not always possible to see the racing line. Accurate pace notes are vital so that you know where to place the car on the road even if the section ahead is not immediately visible. You should also listen out for obstacles such as gate posts or piles of logs that may cause you to take a slightly different line through a corner than you otherwise would. When you're out on stage, make sure you listen to your co-driver and position your car appropriately for the road ahead. Always try and allow a small margin for error. When you hear drivers talking about maximum attack, they are talking about when they are pushing as hard as they can to get the most out of the car. This often leads to some of the most spectacular moments in rallying as drivers set stage records or push too far and have an event-ending crash. Knowing when to push and when to be conservative are vital when competing in an event. If you're recovering from a mechanical issue and you're trying to make up time to the rest of the field, it may be a valid strategy to push harder as you have very little to lose. If you're in the top 3 and setting competitive stage times, it may be more sensible to take a conservative approach and avoid any big risks. In reality, drivers often take a measured approach, driving at 95% of their full potential so as not to make any big mistakes while still maintaining a competitive pace. In dirt rally, this measured approach is advisable as you get to grips with your car and how it responds to the stages and the conditions. If the rear wheels of a car lose traction with the road surface while attempting to steer, the car enters a state known as oversteer. This is when the angle of the car exceeds that of the steering input and the rear of the car steps out of line with the front. Unlike understeer, oversteer is often used as a technique to increase the speed at which corners can be taken. By proactively eliminating understeer, a higher exit speed can be achieved. How oversteer is induced and controlled depends on the type of drivetrain in the car. By definition, front-wheel drive cars do not have any drive to the rear wheels. Therefore, oversteer cannot be induced by applying the throttle, but can be induced by using weight transfer. Once a front-wheel drive car enters oversteer, the attitude of the car can be controlled by steering with opposite lock, accelerating, decelerating, or braking. Applying opposite lock while accelerating will effectively speed up the front of the car and will bring the rear of the car back in line. If more oversteer is required, for example if the corner is tighter than expected, decelerating or braking will increase the amount of oversteer by maintaining the weight over the front wheels and therefore reducing the grip on the rear. As the rear wheels of a four-wheel drive vehicle are powered, you can also induce and maintain oversteer by using the throttle to spin the wheels. Depending on the ratio of power delivery between front and rear wheels, the car may have a tendency to oversteer more or less on corner exit. If the ratio is biased towards the front, under acceleration the car may pull itself out of oversteer. However, if the ratio is biased toward the rear, applying power may increase oversteer by spinning the rear wheels. Subtle control of the steering, throttle and brake is used to initiate, maintain and exit oversteer, and the same weight shifting techniques apply to four-wheel drive as for front-wheel drive cars. Unlike front and four-wheel drive cars, rear-wheel drive cars require the opposite technique with regard to throttle control during oversteer. Oversteer can be induced and maintained by weight transfer, but also by applying power to brake the traction of the rear wheels. Once oversteer has been initiated, continuing to apply power will maintain the slide. In order to limit or correct oversteer, throttle input must be reduced. Lift-off oversteer occurs when, during cornering, you lift off the throttle. Because the car is slowed by engine braking, there will be a certain amount of longitudinal weight transfer which will unload the rear tyres, causing them to partially lose traction with the road. In a front-wheel drive car, this weight transfer alone is enough to induce oversteer because the front of the car is usually heavier than the rear. In four-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive cars, although the difference in the static weight between the front and rear may not be as great as a front-wheel drive car, the effect is amplified by engine braking also acting on the rear wheels as they are unloaded by the weight transferring forward. The key thing to remember is that oversteer is used as a technique to increase the speed at which corners can be taken. There is a common misconception that to drive a rally car quickly, you need to wrestle the steering wheel one way, then the other, as much as possible. When you turn the steering wheel, you are transferring the weight of the car to the wheels on the side where it's needed to load the suspension and provide traction for turning. If you rapidly move the weight from one side to the other, it is likely to destabilize the car, making it difficult to control. Continuing the soaring action on the steering wheel will progressively make the situation worse until either a crash or a spin has occurred. When cornering or making corrections to the steering, you should apply the minimum amount of steering necessary. In conjunction with other techniques, such as left foot braking to induce oversteer, the amount of steering input necessary may be considerably lower than would be required for the same angle corner in a road car. As well as keeping the car as stable as possible, using the minimum amount of steering takes the least time to apply and then remove. Consider a situation where the car unexpectedly and significantly oversteers. If you were to apply a lot of opposite lock, it may correct the situation. However, the rear wheels may suddenly grip, snapping the car out of oversteer, and you may have to rapidly unwind the opposite lock in order to prevent the car from transferring into oversteer in the other direction. Excessive steering lock would only serve to make this situation more difficult to control. So remember, always try to use the minimum amount of steering input possible in conjunction with other techniques to make sure the car remains as stable as possible. handbrake turn is used in rallying more than in any other form of motorsport. The aim of performing a handbrake turn is to get the car to dramatically oversteer at relatively low speed, which enables a tighter turn to be taken than using the steering axis of the wheels only. Weight shift is still required, and you must use the momentum of changing direction with the steering in conjunction with the handbrake to get the rear of the car to slide. The handbrake can also be used to induce oversteer in a more open corner if there is insufficient traction on the front wheels to get the car to turn in at the required point. Remember, handbrake turns are used to navigate very tight corners such as hairpins that would be difficult or slow to drive around normally. So listen out for these types of corners in the pace notes. Tyres operate at their optimum with a certain amount of wheel spin. On gravel, wheel spin lets the tread of the tyre move the loose material on the road surface and puts the tyre in contact with the harder surface underneath, where the most grip can be found. However, excessive wheel spin prevents the tyres from achieving their maximum grip potential, and so it's not always appropriate to floor the accelerator. The technique used to combat excessive wheel spin is known as feathering the throttle and is used primarily when exiting a corner to achieve maximum grip and therefore acceleration. Instead of using the accelerator pedal as an on-off switch, you can modulate the throttle input to find the most grip. The amount of throttle input required to do this will vary from surface to surface and even from corner to corner, so it is more a case of feeling for the grip than knowing exactly how much throttle to apply. As with braking, the inclination of the road ahead has an impact on the speed at which a car can accelerate. When travelling uphill, the car has to pull its weight against gravity and will accelerate more slowly than on a flat surface. Travelling downhill will allow the car to accelerate more quickly. Perhaps less obvious is the effect of altitude on the car. At high altitude, such as the mountain ranges that rally stages and hill climbs often traverse, the car will have relatively less power than at lower altitude. Engines need air to burn fuel, and so if more air goes in, more fuel can go in and more power can be produced. As the air density reduces with altitude, power output also reduces. Bear this in mind when you are driving up Pikes Peak, as the change in altitude is one of the most dramatic in motorsport. The term left foot braking is often misunderstood as simply using your left foot rather than your right foot to operate the brake pedal. While that fact is true, it only scratches the surface in explaining the technique. If braking, accelerating and steering are the tools used to manage weight transfer, left foot braking is the tool for fine adjustment. Using your left foot on the brake pedal and your right foot on the accelerator has a number of advantages. The amount of time taken between pressing the accelerator and brake pedals is significantly reduced compared to using your right foot only. This means that fractions of a second are saved every time you swap from accelerating to braking and back again. If you apply a small amount of brake force while accelerating, particularly in a front-wheel drive car, the load that the engine and drivetrain has to work against causes the differential to tighten. This spreads the power across both wheels, making it less likely to spin one of those wheels due to low grip, therefore giving you more driving traction out of corners. Weight transfer can be fine-tuned mid-corner by adjusting the amount of brake force versus the amount of throttle applied. A little more brake input transfers weight forward, giving more traction on the front wheels to help the car turn in. A little more throttle corrects oversteer if the car is sliding too much. The car can be balanced at the edge of traction throughout a corner using this method. Brake balance adjustment can be used in conjunction with left foot braking to tune the balance between understeer and oversteer. Some of these principles still apply if you use your right foot on the brake, but clearly the speed at which you can move between pedals becomes a factor. Cars that require the clutch to be engaged in order to change gear usually prevent the use of left foot braking for slowing the car down from high speed. However, the technique can still be applied through a corner. Remember, left foot braking allows you to quickly switch between acceleration and braking and is a fantastic technique for fine-tuning the weight transfer of the car. One of the most unique aspects of rallying, unlike other forms of motorsport, is that you have to contend with many kinds of road surfaces. With varying surface types and conditions come varying grip levels. Tarmac, concrete, gravel, dirt, ice and snow, and their many variations are all surfaces you will have to get to grips with. While you will be given the most suitable tyres for the conditions in dirt rally, it is important to understand their characteristics. Bumps can also unload the suspension and tyres, reducing traction by flicking the front, rear or one side of the car upward. Rally stages are usually uneven surfaces, but particularly bad bumps that unsettle the car or require you to do something different than you otherwise would are often called out in the pace notes. Bumps don't always stretch across the entire width of the road, and so evasive action may be necessary, such as moving to one side of the road. Dips or other compressions in the road surface can be unpredictable and should be treated with caution. Dips that occur over a long distance may not have too big an impact on the car, but those that are shorter can act like a severe bump, as the suspension is compressed and then rapidly extended, causing the car to be flicked into the air. Extra caution needs to be taken when traversing extremely rough terrain, with many bumps and dips that can unsettle the car. Care should also be taken when crossing water splashes, as they can, like dips and bumps, be unpredictable. Depending on the depth of water and the width of the crossing, the approach may change from flat out to slowing right down and just driving through it at a normal road speed. Hitting deep water at high speed can damage the front of the car, so it is often better to lose a few seconds by slowing down than losing minutes with mechanical damage. Remember, this is why bumps, dips and water splashes are called out in your pace notes, and where listening to your co-driver is extremely important. Not to be confused with the camber that is associated with suspension geometry, camber of the road surface should be taken into account, particularly when cornering. Positive camber, where the road is sloped towards the inside of the corner, can help the car maintain traction and higher cornering speeds can be achieved. Adverse camber, where the road surface is sloped away from the inside of the corner, tries to force the car away from the apex and the racing line, so lower speeds are often required. Although most corners have positive camber, a series of corners changing from one direction to the other, where the camber of the road also changes, can be challenging, and you must ensure that the car gets out of the apex of one corner, over the crown of the centre of the road, and into the apex of the next corner. In some extreme cases, the camber is so severe that the car will jump across the road as it moves from one side to the other. Make sure you place the car in the correct position on the road so that you are making the most of the camber.